We're back.
Okay. Cool. I will go ahead and go.
Good.
When I have sung my songs to you, I'll sing no more. 'Twould be a sacrilege to sing at another door. We've worked so hard to hold our dreams, just you and I could not share them all again. I'd rather die with just the thought that I had loved so well, so true, that I could never sing again, that I could never sing again, except to
Beautifully sung. Lovely. Lovely.
Thank you.
A couple of things. There was one pitch that sort of wandered away.
Yeah, I lost my balance, and then my breath support kind of went for a second. So
Okay.
I noticed that too.
Okay. And now when you get towards the end, there is an agitato.
Mhm.
And actually, you didn't become very agitated. You slowed down. That I could never sing again. And the composer asks that it be more, you know. So it came out sort of, so moving the tempo a little bit, not a cellerando, but a bit more energy in that. That I could never sing again. That I could never, never sing again, except to you. So it might slow down a little too much during that, right? To maintain what it appears the composer wanted from that last part. Diction is nice and clean, good. And the tone quality is beautiful. So can we go back to the beginning and let's observe what the composer has asked for. To hold our dreams, just you and I, a cellerando, and then agitato. I could not share them all again. I'd rather die. So once more from the beginning.
Okay. Do you want me to do those with the same accompaniment track, even though the accompaniment track still slows down?
Yeah. I don't know if you do you have another accompaniment track by any chance or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a accompanist?
No, it's an accompanist I recorded with.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes the accompanist you can change the tempo. You can move things a little faster. But try it with the, does the other accompaniment that you have, does that move those sections a little bit more?
Yes.
Let me hear that one.
Perfect. Hold on. Sorry, it's queuing up real quick.
Right.
Technology, right?
I've come to the point where I'm ready to throw my computer out the window at times when do what it wants, what it should do. But we're stuck with it. That's the age in which we live.
It is, in fact. Oh, goodness. Okay. Here it is.
Good. Couple little things. Good.
Yes.
Very good. Be careful of the C sharp is. It's a little high.
Yeah.
To sing at another door. There's a tenuto there, and I know you're stuck with the accompaniment, but observe that there is a tenuto there. Sing at another door. Really
got it.
Sing at another door. All right. So you may not be able to do anything about that, but just know in future that you want to observe that tenuto on another door. Okay.
Got it.
So let's go ahead from that point if you can. We've worked so hard.
Yes.
Give me more on sacrilege.
More on that?
Sacrilege. You lean on that stressed syllable. It would be a sacrilege to
Got it.
sing at another door. Once more, same place.
Perfect.
Like it goes sharp. We've worked so hard. We've worked so hard. Somebody.
Yeah, I'm singing in A sharp.
Right. Yeah. So also there's a rest before to sing at another note. I think that if you observe that rest, it's there for a dramatic reason. And if you do it, we don't get that reason. 'Twould be a sacrilege to sing a sacrilege to sing at another door, right? So I would observe that rest.
Got it.
As a kind of, I couldn't do it. I couldn't sing at another door. It would be a sacrilege to sing at another door, right? One more time from there, and then be careful of that A when you come. We've worked so hard. Okay.
Yep.
So it would be a sacrilege. Can you go back there?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Make sure that we've,
We've.
otherwise it comes out, we worked so hard, which is fine, but the
Past
important
tense.
is we've worked. So worked, put a V before the W. We've worked so hard. Give me a D to hold our dreams. Those consonants. Just you, give me a T. Just you and I. Not just a you, but just you and, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Try to pick it up. We've worked so hard.
We've worked so hard.
I said, we've worked. Do
More of
this
it.
for me. Do this for me. Worked, put a V.
Worked.
Worked. Yep, once more.
Worked.
Yes, you feel something in the middle of your body, do that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you need to do to make it weave rather than we worked.
Mm-hmm.
All right? The V has got to produce that feeling in your center, okay? Just sing it without that right now. We've worked so, and that will make you lean on worked. We've worked so hard. Once more, right there, just by yourself.
We've worked.
More.
We've worked. We've worked so hard.
That gave me a sense of, boy, the feeling when you spoke it that way. I got the feeling of what that meant to you. Do it again, please.
We've worked so hard.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to do more. Go overboard.
Do more? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked so hard.
We've worked. Can you say it? We've worked. VW.
We've worked.
Yeah. VWRK. Once more.
We've worked.
We've worked.
We've worked.
Yeah. Just say worked.
Worked.
Again.
Worked.
That's what I want you to feel when you sing that phrase. Now put that into the phrase.
We've worked so hard.
That wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
No, it wasn't. We've worked so hard.
Tenor, and when you feel it in your belly, then you know you've done enough. But don't try to put it in your belly. Lean against the button. We've worked so hard.
We've worked so hard.
Better. Now give me a D at the end of worked. It would be sort of a T sound. We've worked so hard.
We've worked so hard.
Yes. What did that feel like in your viscera?
Like my tummy was working.
Thank you very much. And it worked not because you were working your tummy, but because you imploded, you built up a back pressure that launched those words, boom, out. And it was almost as though you were ready, I could feel as though you're ready to weep. Huh? Now, put that together with the accompaniment, please.
All right, where would you like me to start from?
Take it from, it would be a sacrilege. Lean against the button on sacrilege. Breathe into your hips, sacrilege.
Got it. Sacrilege to sing at another door. We've worked so hard to hold our dreams. on here, but that's okay.
What happened? There was something that seemed to interrupt what you did.
The speaker just kind of went out for a second, but we're okay.
Okay, good. So that was good. I really got that gut feeling. We've worked so hard. That was wonderful. It makes sense, at least for me, of the change in the sonority there, in the accompaniment, everything, right?
We will have to move on to another student.
Oh, that was a voice that, you know, that was a voice.
Interrupt. So, oh, wait, it was me. No, I didn't speak during the middle of our song.
Okay, but beautiful voice. So more focus on feeling those words, speaking them that way. And when you do that, you'll get more legato, you'll get more of the sense, the disappointed sense here. Okay, bravo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now next we have John.
Hello.
Hello, John.
I'm going to be singing Stenchen by Schubert. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. My speaker shut off, so I'm going to turn that back on real quick. Okay. Leise flehen meine Lieder durch die Nacht zu dir. In den stillen Hain hernieder, Liebchen, komm zu mir. Flüstern schlagen wir verraschen in des Mondes Licht, in des Mondes Licht, des Verräters feindlich laschen, wie der Hunde nicht, wie der Hunde nicht. Die Nacht, die Gallenschlangen, ach, sie flehen dich. Mir der Töne süßen Klangen, flehen sie für mich. Sie verstehen des Busen Sehnen, kennen Liebe Schmerz, kennen Liebe Schmerz. Rühren mit der Silbertönen jedes weiche Herz, jedes weiche Herz. Lass auch dir die Brust bewegen, Liebchen, höre mich, bebend war ich dir entgegen. Komm, beglücke mich, komm, beglücke mich, beglücke mich.
Good. Bravo. Lovely quality. Good. Lovely voice. Lovely lyrical sound.
Thank you. Thank you.
First, I'd like to deal with that rhythmic thing that you have always, da 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 dee da 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 dee, and you're doing da 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 dee, which is, it's not da 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 dee, it's da 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 dee, da 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 dee before the triplet. You're sort of putting in a triplet before the triplet. Da 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 da, no, da 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 dee, ba da da dee da dee, ba da 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 dee da da.
Gotcha.
So let's just deal with those right off the bat. The first one is in des Mondes Licht. So just do that for me.
In the small.
G. In des. Give me a G. Give me a G natural. G natural. In des. Is that right?
Oh, it's the second one? You're looking at the second one?
The first one. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Okay. So the first one is on page, what I have, 56, second system, G, A, G, F sharp, G, right there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, I'm sorry, it's before that, the first measure, B flat, C, B flat.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. You don't need to apologize when you make mistakes. Big deal. So right there, do for me on just on la la la.
La 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 la.
That's right. Now do it with the words.
In the smallest leaf.
Once more.
In the smallest leaf.
Do the next one.
In the smallest leaf.
Good. That's correct. Go down to number the bottom of the page. What was that? Number 25. Fürchte holde nicht.
Fürchte holde nicht.
Once more. That's correct. Let's go to the next one. Number 43 on page 58. Dear, komm, beglücke mich.
Komm, beglücke mich.
Yeah, so that's the correct,
Gotcha.
figure. Okay, so good. Let's go, please, to German's pretty good. Let me hear you say. Just let me hear you speak the text.
Okay. Starting from the first verse.
Yeah.
Leise flehen meine Lieder durch die Nacht zu dir.
Okay, I need to hear Nacht zu.
Nacht zu.
That's what I need to hear.
Okay.
And the durch is not at the back of your throat, not durch, but durch, curl your tongue and
Okay.
blow the air over the center of your tongue. Durch.
Durch.
That's right. So the rugged or the crude way of doing it is durch, but you don't want it on the teeth. One of the great German singers of last century did it that way, and that was Fischer Dieskau. Durch, durch. But the elegant way of doing it is durch, durch. Try it.
Durch. Durch.
Durch.
Durch.
That's correct. So.
Gotcha.
Durch die Nacht zu dir.
Durch die Nacht zu dir.
Not Nacht, Nacht. That's
Nacht.
back. Yeah,
Okay.
durch is forward over the tongue. Nacht is back. Nacht. Durch Nacht. Do those two words.
Durch Nacht.
I'm saying Nacht. Nacht.
Nacht.
Yeah, Nacht.
Nacht.
That's right.
Okay.
Do that again.
Durch die Nacht.
I'm durch die Nacht. Durch die Nacht.
Durch die Nacht.
Okay, now the back one, you have to practice so you don't,
Yes, sir.
you don't gargle with it, right? Durch die Nacht. So it comes out, ah.
Ach. Okay. Durch die Nacht.
That's right. Give me a
Okay.
stronger T, and you got really knocked
Okay.
it. Once more.
Durch die Nacht.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead with that. Durch die Nacht zu dir.
Durch die Nacht zu dir.
Perfect. Go ahead.
In den, oh, sorry. Want me to keep going?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. In den stille Hein hernieder.
Whoops. What's the ending of the word Stillen? I heard stiller.
Is it? So is it stiller?
No,
Oh,
that's
stille.
that's what you said. You
Oh,
said stiller, and it's stillen.
oh, stillen. Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So be careful that you don't say the wrong thing, because it's easy to mispronounce certain words and people either start laughing or they'll say, So once more, in den stillen.
In den stillen Hein hernieder. Liebchen, komm zu mir.
I need the P.
Liebchen, komm zu mir.
Now the hen is over the curled tongue. Liebchen.
Liebchen,
Yeah, not shin, but Liebchen.
Liebchen.
Yeah, over the curled tongue.
Okay.
So Liebchen, komm zu mir.
Liebchen, komm zu mir.
There's no K. There's no K. I heard Liebchen.
Liebchen, komm zu mir.
Very good. Go ahead.
Verliesten,
Okay, not verliesten, but flüstern.
Flüstern.
Yeah, flüstern, and the flu is long. Flüsternd.
Flüstern, schlagen, verrauschen.
Now I need to hear a T sound after flüsternd, because the D is a T sound. Flüsternd, schlanke.
Flüstern, schlanke.
Now be careful, not verliesten, but flee, like you're going to say in English. I'm going to flee this place. I'm going to flee. Flüstern.
Flüstern, schlagen.
Schlanke.
Schlanke.
It's at the back of the throat. Schlanke. Once more.
Schlanke.
Good.
Flüstern, schlanke. Wip, verrauschen.
Wipfelrauschen, roll it.
Okay.
The word means what? What does rauschen mean?
Like bird? No.
To rustle, to make sound,
Rustle,
like
yeah.
leave the trees, right? So
Gotcha.
roll it. Wipfelrauschen.
Wipfelrauschen.
Give me a P. Wipfelrauschen.
Wipfelrauschen.
Wipfel.
Wipfel.
Yeah. Tie it together.
Wipfelrauschen.
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 Yeah. So work on that, right? That's what it tastes like. Go ahead.
Wipfelrauschen. In des Mondes Licht.
Yeah.
Is that Licht?
In a short I. In des Mondes Licht.
In des Mondes Licht.
Good. Go ahead.
Des Verräters feindlich lauschen.
Feindlich lauschen.
Feindlich lauschen.
Go ahead.
Fürchte holden nicht.
Fürchte holden nicht.
Fürchte holden nicht.
Ja, fürchte. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, fürchte.
Fürchte holden nicht.
Yes, that was it. Again.
Fürchte holden nicht.
Yeah, not holden nicht. Fürchte holden nicht, because here again, he has written a dotted quarter on the stressed syllable. Not fürchte holden nicht. Fürchte holden nicht. Once more.
Fürchte holden nicht.
Good. Okay. We'll go to the next one.
Okay. Hörst die Nachtigallen schlagen.
Hold on, I'm trying to get this thing to move and it won't move. Okay, let me go back up. So, hörst, long sound.
Hörst.
Give me an H.
Hörst.
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 Hörst die Nachtigallen schlagen.
Hörst die Nachtigallen schlagen.
Yeah, nach is back. Nachtigallen.
Nacht.
Nachtigallen. Yeah.
Nachtigallen.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Schlagen. Ach, sie flehen dich.
No, okay. The H is not pronounced. Flehen.
Flehen.
Yeah. Ach, sie flehen dich.
Ach, sie flehen dich.
Good. Go ahead.
Mit der Töne.
Long
Süß.
sound. Big long sound. Töne.
Mit der Töne. Süßen Klagen. Flehen sie für mich. Flehen sie für mich.
Sie. Flehen Sie für mich.
Flehen sie für mich.
Yeah. And you don't need to pucker. Für.
Für.
Yeah.
Fear.
Like you're going to say fear, but with a umlaut. Fear.
Für.
Yeah.
Für.
Yeah. Long sound. Sie für mich.
Sie für mich.
Mich. No. Mich. Not mich. Not mich, but mich. Somewhere in between.
Mich.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Sie verstehen es.
Verstehen.
Sie verstehen es. Busen sehnen.
But verstehen, and the next word is des. Verstehen des. Sie,
Verstehen des.
okay, Sie verstehen des Busens Sehnen.
Sie verstehen des Busens sehnen.
Busens Sehnen.
Busens sehnen.
Right. So Busens sind is a Z sound and there's an S at the end. Busens Sehnen.
Busens sehnen.
Yes.
Kennen Liebesschmerz.
Not Cain. Kennen.
Kennen? Okay.
Yes. Ken. Like the American name Ken. There's Ken walking down the street. Kennen.
Kennen Liebesschmerz.
Yeah, Liebesschmerz. Not Liebes.
Liebesschmerz.
Yes. That's the taste of it. Go ahead.
Kennen Liebesschmerz.
Schmerz. Schmerz is a long sound.
Schmerz.
Schmerz.
Okay. Kennen Liebesschmerz.
Liebesschmerz. Separated. Liebesschmerz.
Liebesschmerz.
Yes.
Rühren mit den Silbertönen. Jedes weiche Herz.
Jedes. More closed. Jedes.
Jedes weiche Herz.
Weiche. Over.
Weiche.
Yeah, bring it a little bit over your tongue. Weiche Herz.
Weiche Herz.
Yeah. Weiche Herz.
Weiche Herz.
Weiche.
Weiche Herz.
Okay, weiche Herz. Go ahead. Okay. The last part.
Lass auch dir die Brust bewegen.
Not Brust. Brust.
Brust.
Brust. Bewegen.
Brust. Okay, bewegen.
Actually, more not bewegen, but bewegen. Almost like a bewegen.
Bewegen.
Yeah.
Bewegen.
Yeah.
Liebchen, höre mich.
Not Mick. Mick lives on the corner. Mich.
Mich.
Yeah. Liebchen, höre mich.
Ja. Liebchen, höre mich. Mich.
Mich. Yeah. Okay. Liebchen, höre mich.
Liebchen, höre mich.
But mich is important. Don't let it drop off.
Okay.
Liebchen, höre mich.
Liebchen, höre mich.
Okay, go ahead.
Bebend haar ich dir entgegen.
Okay, give me the ending of the word bebend.
Bebend haar ich dir entgegen.
Roll the R of har ich.
Haar ich.
No, not har, but har ich.
Haar ich.
Okay, bebend har ich.
Bebend haar ich.
Good, go ahead.
Dir entgegen.
Don't roll it together. Dir entgegen. Roll, attack every word that begins with a vowel. Attack
Dir,
it. Don't
okay.
tie it together.
Dir entgegen.
Good. So the sentence would be, bebend har ich dir entgegen.
Bebend haar ich dir entgegen.
Quite good. Go ahead.
Komm, beglücke mich.
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 Longer. Mich.
Okay.
Komm, beglücke mich.
Komm, beglücke mich.
That's better. So that's the taste of the language, and you've got to master that because
Okay.
the words are so important, so important. Whenever there are words, they have to be spoken with clarity. Now, let's start again, and we'll go as far as we can, okay?
Okay.
I'll stop when the language is not clear.
Sorry, my bad.
Sorry, it's all right.
Leise flehen meine Lieder durch die Nacht zu dir. In den stillen Hain hernieder, Liebchen, komm zu mir.
Can we go back a bit and just pick it up in at the in den stillen Hain hernieder? I can't. It just sounded like you didn't come in right on, but you probably did. In den stillen Hain hernieder, Liebchen, komm zu mir.
Okay.
Right in that area, something's been quite phased.
In den stillen Hain hernieder, Liebchen, komm zu mir. Fließend schlanke Wipfel.
Be careful, you get a C sharp. Fließen, not fließen. Don't. Okay, right there. Maybe a measure before that or so.
Fließend schlanke Wipfel in des. Sorry, I did wrong.
Okay, and I'm sorry, pretty soon we'll have to move on.
Okay, so watch those rhythmic things. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, not ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-dee-dee. Okay, lovely voice. Good talent.
Thank
Really
you.
fine talent.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Faith Burnett, and I'm going to be singing Stizzoso Mio Stizzoso by Pergolesi.
Okay. A lot of words here.
Yes. Stizzoso Mio Stizzoso, puoi farti curioso. Dove può giocare? Dove può giocare? Mi sono il mio defiato, tra qui tu, così, zit, zit, serpinato così. Stizzoso mio stizzoso, vuoi farti curioso? Dove può giocare? Persona il mio divieto, ser quieto, quieto, e non parlare, zit, zit, serpinato così, vuoi farti curioso, ma non vi può giocare, bisogna il mio divieto, star quieto e non parlare, zit, zit, quieto, zit, zit, non parlare, serpina, pur così, serpina fu così. Critico che mi intendete sì, che mi intendete sì, che mi intendete, ma che mi conoscete, son muti, son muti, e mutiti. Stizzoso, mio stizzoso, vuoi farti curioso? Dove può giocare? Dove può giocare? Bisogna il mio divieto, ser quieto, quieto, e non parlare, zit, zit, serpina fu così, zit, zit, serpina fu così. Stizzoso mio stizzoso, vuoi farti curioso? Dove può giocare? Persona il mio divieto, ser quieto, quieto, e non parlare, zit, zit, serpina fu così, vuoi farti curioso, ma non vi può giocare, bisogna il mio divieto, star quieto e non parlare, zit, zit, quieto, zit, zit, non parlare, serpina, pur così, serpina fu così.
Good, bravo, bravo, bravo. You, the first time you sang through that first, it wasn't quite accurate, but when you went back, you nailed it. You nailed it right down, right? And stuff like this, those pitches have got to be right on, and good. There were a couple places where, yeah, quieto. Make sure you don't give me a double T, not quieto, quieto, just a single T, and the stress is on the quie, on the K, quieto, quieto. Okay, and don't hold anything longer than it is. Sometimes you tend to do that a little bit. Well, così off, off. Now, Z, right? And if you can, serpina. If you can roll that R so we really hear it in the back of the theater, right? Serpina, vuol così, See, serpina. That was good. That was very good. Credio, yeah. Credio, lean on the io, and roll that out. Credio che mi intendete. Sì.
Credio.
Yeah,
Credio.
The word is io. Credio.
Credio.
Yeah, not so much a strong, not credio, because it sounds like a double D. Credio.
Credio.
Yeah, flip the D, flip the R, and lean on the E. Right? Credio.
Credio.
Not credio. What are the pitches? Is there an A natural? Credio, credio, not credio. No. Credio. Leave the D on the cred and lean on the E on the top.
Okay.
Let me hear you do that a couple times.
Okay.
Just credio without the accompaniment.
Okay. Credio, credio.
Credio, credio.
Credio.
No, I'm hearing the D on the top. Keep it down the bottom. Credio,
Credio.
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 No, credio.
Credio.
No, forget the right now. Let's practice. Forget the rolled R and do for me. Creio, creio. Now, put the D in. You're singing it on the top because they've written it that way, but it really, in order to get a non-Italian to sing it properly, the D should be in the previous measure at the end of cred. Credio. Better. Again. That'll do it. Now make sure I get two vowels. E-O. E-O. I want to hear the O, but the E is more prominent. Once more.
Okay.
Well, you separated it and put the D on the top. Keep the D on the bottom in the previous measure. No. Do it. Practice it again without the R. Creio. That's what I need to hear, but I need to hear the D before. On the bottom, cred, credio, credio. No, you're separating. Don't separate. Credio. You're doing cred, credio. So it's tricky. Credio. Say it.
Credio.
No.
Credio.
Credio. Not credi. Not credi. Credio.
Credio.
No. Credio.
Credio.
Yes. Do this for me. Dio.
Io.
Dio.
Io.
You hear me doing the D? Dio.
Dio. Oh, now I can hear the D.
Yeah. So I'm sliding. Dio.
Dio.
Again.
Dio.
I'll speed up the slide. Dio.
Dio.
Yes. Again.
Dio.
Credio.
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 Give me the D. Credio. Around the bottom.
Credio.
Dio. Dio.
Oh.
Dio.
Dio.
Dio. Dio. Dio.
Dio. Credio.
Let's do the D. Dio.
Dio.
Yes. Feel where that D was. It was on the bottom of the slide. Try it again.
Dio. Oh. Dio.
Yes. Again.
Dio.
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 Okay, so work on that because the Italians won't sing credio. That almost becomes like the word God. Dio. And this is not God. It says, believe me, believe I believe I. Credio. All right, so work on that. Let's go, let me just see there's some other place. Che mi intendete, da che mi conosceste. Let me hear you from that place, the fine, starting with credio. Let me hear you speak the text.
Credio che m'intendete sì.
Oh no. Mi intendete.
M'intendete.
Yes, not dette. That's not Italian. You also made it, when you said dette, you put in a double T. So you have to, how much time did you spend speaking the text?
I probably spent like a day speaking before singing the text.
Nope. You need to spend a whole lot of time until you can speak the text so that an Italian would say, va bene. That's right, that's correct. So let's go back to the beginning. There's no problem with you singing the pitches. I mean, it's perfect for your voice. But let's spend our time together with the text, right? So let's go to the beginning, and I want you to say the words for me.
Schizzoso mio schizzoso, voi fate borioso.
Voi,
Voi,
voi, lean on the O, and it's more of an open sound. Voi,
voi,
go ahead.
voi, fate, tail,
Yeah, since you have the staccati, then you have to separate. Fa-te-il,
il,
and you have to do it without doing a double T, which is almost impossible. Fa-te-il, not fat-te-il. If you do fat-te-il, then you've given me a double T. Fa-te-il, fa-te-il.
fate, borioso,
Borioso.
borioso.
Yeah, the stress is on the final O. I mean, next to the final O. So if I were to say that, I would say, voi fate il borioso.
Voi fate il
No, fate il borioso. Fate il borioso.
fate il borioso.
Yeah, so not necessarily trying to do it in the rhythm of the piece. Now you want to do it so that it's conversational. Voi fate il borioso.
Voi fate il borioso.
But fate means a double T. Fate.
Oh.
Voi fate, lean on and elongate the stressed syllable. The stressed syllable is fa. Voi fate il borioso.
Voi fate il borioso.
And fate, lean on so you feel in your gut. Voi fate il borioso.
Voi fate il borioso.
Ah, that's better. Does it feel different?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That little bit is what you got to make more of a big bit, right? And when you just spoke this right now, it was more legato. Voi fate il borioso. And beautiful Italian is spoken legato. People like Mirella Freni and Luciano Pavarotti come from an area in Italy where they speak beautiful Italian, modern, right? And it's like singing. Voi fate il borioso. Once more.
Voi fate il borioso.
Fate il borioso. That was good. Let's go ahead to the next one.
Ma, no,
Ma, no.
ma, no. Ma non vi può giovare.
Ma non vi può giovare.
Ma non vi può giovare.
Yeah, the può has this accent on the final O, right? Può.
Oh.
Ma non vi può giovare.
Ma non vi può giovare.
Yeah, that sounds like Italian. Go ahead before we have to stop. So what's the next one?
Bisogna il mio divieto.
Not quite. Bisogna al mio divieto. Divieto.
Vieto.
Okay, once
Divieto.
more. And bisogna, they've got an open O there. Bisogna, not bisogna. Bisogna al mio divieto.
Bisogna il mio divieto.
Divieto.
Vieto.
Divieto.
Divieto.
Yeah, divieto.
Divieto.
Yes, lean on the stressed syllable, elongate it, right? What's the next thing you say?
Starqueto.
Roll the R, starqueto.
Starqueto.
Good. Go ahead.
E non parlare.
Okay, not pop, pop, pop. Okay, you got the breaks. E non parlare.
E non Parlare.
Right. Now roll the final R, not parlare. Parlare. The last one is flipped. The first one is rolled.
E
E
non
non
parlare.
lare, like a little
Lare.
D, like a little D at the tip of your tongue. Lare,
Lare.
lare, la. Say a D. Lare.
Lare.
Now soften it. Lare.
Lare.
That's it. There's got to be that little stop. Lare.
Lare.
E non parlare.
E non parlare.
Ah, va benone. Excellent, excellent.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We need to move on. Thank you so
But
much.
the language, even though this is, I mean, you can do the fast stuff, but it's the language that has to be mastered, the pronunciation. Okay?
Okay.
Lovely voice.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Great to hear you. I look forward to hearing you in future.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, next up we have Ivana.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello, Dr. Shirley. It's so good to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you.
So excited. Oh, let me adjust.
Encantado. I'm happy to meet you as well. I'm looking forward to hearing you.
Enchanté, Monsieur Shirley.
Ah, c'est bien, c'est bien. Merci, merci beaucoup. Le plaisir est à moi.
Well, today I will be singing Softly this Summer by American composer Richard Hundley with Addie Spaulding on piano.
Okay. Lovely, lovely silver voice. Lovely, beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Shirley.
Richard Hundley was a member of the Metropolitan Opera Chorus when I sang there in the 60s and 70s. And I sang some of his songs in a concert on one of the Met tours that we took along with a couple of other Met artists. But wonderful writer for the voice because he was a singer, and
Yes.
lovely song. This is one I'm not familiar with. Lovely. Okay, there are a couple places where you're singing the wrong rhythm, and I'm not sure whether you're aware of it. Can we pick it up from Cool is the Valley, Starry the Skies?
trying to see in my score.
I think first page. Bottom measure.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, now that's the first place. Valley is a half note followed by a quarter, and you're making it, you're turning it around. You're saying a quarter note on va and then a half note on lee.
Okay.
Cool is the valley, not valley, valley. And it was the same in another place like that, but we'll find it, okay?
Okay.
So right there again.
Okay. Was it right?
Yeah, you're right. That was right. Do it again.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry.
No, sorry, don't need to apologize. No need to apologize. Once more.
Songs of lonely shepherds dim softly to
Okay, that's better. Careful of the A natural. Make sure that's a real A natural. Take it from the songs of lonely shepherds, please.
Songs of lonely shepherds dim softly to
That's good. So now let's go down to.
I think the second place where I messed up the rhythm was maybe wonder and longing. I probably didn't hold that
Yeah.
half note for long.
Okay, let's do the second part. Okay.
Okay.
Wonder and long. Yeah, it was longing. It was longing. The same place.
Yeah.
We turned it around. So let's start right on wonder.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Those are the two places where you got off. So you'll have to drill those in. All right, very good. Let's go back to beginning.
Okay.
And I don't know if you were listening to this morning's group of singers.
Yes, I was there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you now to breathe, to do what's impossible. I'm going to ask you to imagine as though you're breathing into the areas below your hips on either side, that you're breathing in and you're filling those areas full of air.
Okay.
And when you feel the lower part of your back expand, then I want you to launch softly this summer, etc. And try to breathe each time when you have to take a breath. Breathe so that you feel that part of your body below your belt line, under your hips, fill up, and that lower part of your back feel as though that it gets wider. And let's see what happens.
Okay.
Let's start the beginning of the piece.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now let me ask you, and be honest, was there any difference that you felt when you breathed that way and you started and you sang?
Yeah, I noticed that phrases kind of flowed a little more easily, and my breath wasn't ready to give out like so soon.
Good. Both pluses, both positives, right? Good. So that kind of feeling of being anchored in that part of your body makes going to the top not something that you reach up for, but that you reach down for, in a sense. And I'm not talking about pushing muscles or anything else. I'm not talking about singing heavily, but when that happens, it makes it easier to sing easily at the top, right? And I liked what I heard. I mean, it just seemed like there was a bit more, to me, a bit more space, more rather than sort of.
Yeah, I felt that too. I just didn't know how to put it into words, but I felt that too.
It's interesting, you know, we need to find the triggers and the ways of thinking that get our bodies to react naturally.
Yeah.
Years ago, I asked Placido Domingo, I said, Placido, what is it you think about when you sing? And he said, George, I cannot tell you. All I try to do is keep the tone brown. Brown? Brown. Now, if I tried to do that, it would probably come out sounding like a warm Hershey bar, you know what I mean? But for him, it worked magnificently well. So you have to find your images, what makes your body respond in such a way that when you sing in the top and wherever, you feel like you are grounded. You're not reaching outside of your body for anything. It's there in you. And this way of breathing, as I said before, gives that sense of, right? Sort of like an isosceles triangle between your hips, underneath your hips, a wide, broad base, and then you can go to the top, like the top of the triangle, right? And let it hang. So great, let's go ahead. Let's this time I want you to let's start on the beginning and then keep going. And every time you take a breath, I want you to breathe it in so that you can feel as though those muscles back there fill out. Okay?
Okay.
Beginning.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll tell you something. When you sing quietly, still try to feel that feeling of expansion in your lower back. Take the breath, and even though it's going to be quieter, see if you can still feel that underneath you, all right?
Yeah.
Go to start right with that cool, softly cool, and what is it?
Cool as the valley?
Yeah, what you just sang, actually.
Oh, Songs of Lonely Shepherds?
Start with cool. Start with cool as a valley.
Okay.
And tell yourself, breathe into your hips and feel them widen. Go ahead. Very nice. I want to go to the high in the heavens.
Okay.
And I want you to feel as though your hips are about 40 miles wide and,
Okay.
filled with substance, all right?
And,
So-
and then, I'm sorry, we'll have to move on shortly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Sorry.
put an H on the heavens. High in the heavens, right? Ooh.
I felt that, Dr. Shirley.
Oh yeah, I felt it too. I felt it
That really helped a lot.
and I heard it. So I don't know. I mean, the brain is attached to every muscle in your body, in a sense. And I've heard it said that the only movement that the human body can make that's not mind guided is a nervous twitch. Everything else comes from here to here. If you have a build like Mr. America, muscle strip, and you suffer a stroke that kills the boss in that area that sends out the message to the arm to flex and do all this, the arm will hang there with all of its muscles, unable to move because that part of the brain that houses the mind is no longer functioning. Now, your mind will make this work, make everything work. So you just felt that by thinking, by imagining, something appeared underneath you that gave us that B flat, like, and you put the H on it, and it was, whoa. You did that through your thought,
Yeah.
and it was glorious, fabulous.
Thank you, Dr. Shirley.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing you again in the future. All of you. I mean, all of you are so talented. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been a great opportunity. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate all of you, and all of your peers. Wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ivana. And next up, we have Evan.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So, I guess we'll start.
Yeah.
uh,
What are you
today-
going to sing?
Yeah. Today we'll be performing Auflügen des Gesanges by Felix Mendelssohn. Auflügen des Gesanges, Herzliebchen, trag ich dich fort nach dem Flüren des Ganges, dort weiß ich dem schönsten Ort. Dort liegt ein noch blühender Garten, im stillen Mondenschein. Die Lotusblumen erwarten ihr trautes Schwesterlein. Die Lotusblumen erwarten ihr trautes Schwesterlein. Die Veilchen kichern und kosen und schauen nach dem Sternen empor. Heimlich erzählen die Rosen, sie duften der Märchen ins Ohr. Es hüpfen herbei und lauschen die frommen, klugen Gazellen. Und in der Ferne rauschen des heiligen Stromes Wellen. Und in der Ferne rauschen des heiligen Stromes Wellen.
Beautiful, lovely. Really sweet sounding voice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The Italians have a phrase, appoggiare la voce, which means lean your voice. Now, at your third button there, at the top of your belly, right there, that's in back of that, that's where your diaphragm is attached. I want you to imagine as though your energy in making your sound is leaning against that button, leaning against the back of it. And I want you to sing that last phrase, love's seligen Traum, the whole time. Feel it, imagine it leaning against the back of that button and sort of, almost as though it's sort of leaning down in the back of it and sort of pushing it out, but don't physically try to do it. Imagine it. Right there, der seligen Traum. Lead him into the love, der seligen Traum, please.
From the first one?
No, this is the end of the piece. The end.
The very last one. Okay.
Right. So the beginning of Well, my question is, did it feel any different?
I'd say so, yeah. I feel like I was able to carry myself through the phrase a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree. So could you feel that connection to that, just how your mind was able to connect you to that really crucial place for singers? Go back a little bit, please, to the top of page 49. Und Lieb und Ruhe trinken, und träumen seligen Traum. From there. And lean it all. Take a good breath into your, imagine you can breathe beneath your hips into that area, and then lean against the button. Lean it all against the button.
Okay. Und Lieb und Ruhe trinken und träumen seligen Traum und träumen seligen Traum.
Okay. So before the final, take a bigger breath into your hips. But how did it feel?
I think, like, as I mentioned before, it just felt a lot more connected. I think, like, fluid, and it was more, I felt more of an emotional connection now that
Good.
that sort of,
Because that place is, again, right in front of your solar plexus where you feel things. That spot, some call it a chakra, is extremely important to be in touch with. Years ago, when I started my career, one of the teachers I worked with in New York was a baritone. He said to me in the first lesson, he said, I will tell you only one thing about support. You must always keep your stomach out. Well, I spent a number of months trying to keep my stomach out, and the only thing it gave me was gas. But what he was after was what happens, the sensation when you are mentally leaning against that button. It feels like everything below it is like this, without your trying to make it so. And it just makes things a heck of a lot easier. It gives you a sense of being grounded rather than pulling up against gravity, being a part of gravity, being seated. So minding that connection, again, mind, solar plexus, cum, diaphragm, if you will, heart, and throat. Right. That was lovely. That was lovely. So I want to go back. I want you to start this again. And I want you to, with every breath, I want you to breathe so that you feel as though your hips, the area below your hips has been filled with something, and you feel that lower part of your back being automatically stretched. Don't try to do it. And then just lean against the button as you sing this piece, okay? Once more from the beginning.
Auf Flügen des Gesanges, Herzliebchen, trag ich dich fort, fort nach dem Flüren des Ganges, dort weiß ich dem schönsten Ort, dort liegt ein noch blühender Garten, im stillen Mondenschein, die Lotusblumen erwarten, ihr traute Schwesterlein. Die Lotusblumen erwarten, ihr traute Schwesterlein.
Okay, good. Let's just deal with that little place, the erwarten. You ran out of energy a little bit, and that's understandable. It's like learning how to run a mile when you've only been used to running a half mile. Right? You have to build into it, right? So can you back up a little bit before that phrase, please? And know that you want to, even though it's a short period of time, you want to feel as though you can draw that energy into you so that you feel that expansion, or just imagine the expansion. Imagine it, okay? So where can you start before that?
Should we start like at that phrase or like a phrase before?
Before it.
Okay.
Because it's a matter of recovering from that. In that moment, to be able to feel that without trying to make it happen, okay?
Die Lotusblumen erwarten, ihr traute Schwesterlein. Die Lotusblumen erwarten, ihr traute Schwesterlein.
Okay, how did that feel?
It felt a little more connected this time.
Yeah. It sounded like throughout the whole, when you sustained it, it didn't feel like or sound like it was going to all of a sudden cut off from you. So singing that phrase over and over again until you coordinate the proper intake of breath and get the right response from your body, boom, until sort of like playing basketball, you see these guys shooting 3-pointers from mid-court, you think the people in their faces, well, how do they do that?
Yeah.
Hours of practice from this part of the court, that part, knowing how much thrust is needed to get it from this point to that, more here, less there, hours, until in a game, boom, 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 boom. Same thing with singing. The only difference in this in sports is that we can't see the basket. We can't see the ball. We have to feel. We have to sing by the sensation of it, what it feels like. In golf, they say, swing the feel of the club. Every club has a different weight, and you can't swing your 9-iron with the same sense of swing that you swing your driver.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of us going with what it feels like when it's right, and then trying to put ourselves in the same frame of mind and give the same messages so that the result is 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, the same result, right? So nothing beats mindful practice. You have a lovely voice. The timbre is really beautiful, really beautiful.
Thank you.
Just work to connect it to your torso in the proper way. And boom. It's wonderful. How are we doing with time?
Well, we have time for one more singer, and
Okay. Bravo. Evan. Very good.
thank you, Evan. And our last singer for today is Antonio.
Antonio.
Antonio, are you there?
There he is.
All right. Is the single okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So what are you going to sing for us, Antonio?
Sorry. I will be singing Fidèle by Henri Duparc.
C'est bien.
Oh, just give me a second. Sorry.
Take your time. Take your time. You have time.
Disable your Bluetooth.
Galaxy S9 disconnected. Ready to connected to Galaxy S9.
The voice of the robot.
Huh. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties.
That's all right. Don't tell me about technology. You'll get me into a bad mood. I've become especially upset with robots. They can't really answer the questions I have to ask. And
Galaxy S9 disconnected. Ready to pair. Connected to Galaxy S9.
Oh, got it. Sorry about that. All right. L'herbe molle sommeil sous les frais peupliers. Au poteau source moussure qui dans les prés en fleurs germant parmi les cieux se perdent sous les noirs alliés. Par le trèfle et le tassel en plein soleil chantent les abeilles en volage. Un chaud parfum circule au détour des sentiers. La rouge fleur d'église s'incline, il
Bravo.
Thank you.
One of the, whoops, one of the greatest songs ever written. Just an incredible piece. And I love your commitment to it. The beautiful voice, sound of it. You got all the right stuff going. Some things we need to touch on to make you aware of. Sometimes things are not as well in tune. You tend to go a little sharp and come off the center of the pitch. And I think it's those places where you're being a bit more in touch with this button I'm talking about. With some of my students, I call it Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's red nose, that you want to stay in touch with it so that when you need the support, you light up the nose, right? And there are places in it that you sort of come off of it, and your voice, which has all these wonderful high notes, everything goes a little too high. So let's back up, please, and go back to the beginning. And I want you to be aware of leaning against the back of this button throughout this whole first part. And I'm not talking about being loud. I'm talking about being solid in tone. L'herbe molle au sommeil, sous les pépins pliés. Don't swallow it, okay? So let's start again from the beginning, please. And put your finger on the button and make sure you are leaning on the button for everything you sing. And then when we go up, then there's more of the need for that feeling of width in the back, lower back. But let's start with the button, okay?
L'herbe molle au sommeil, sous les frais peupliers, au pente de source moussue, qui dans les braises en fleurs germant
Even there. Okay, even at the end when it gets quiet. Yes. You feel the difference in that rather than letting it just disappear? It became quieter, but it still had connection, it still had support, it had substance, and it was beautiful, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Being in touch with the button doesn't mean fortissimo. You can sing quietly, but still have the support that this area can give your throat, okay? So let's go ahead from this point, repose. And there was a place where you almost went a little off. Dans la présence germois parmi les cieux. No. Au pente des sources. Yeah, there. Don't swallow the there. Au pente des sources. I'm still in touch with the button. Don't let it ride off. Just do that phrase, au pente des sources, monsieur.
Au pente des sources.
Now, that's in touch. That's in touch. So if you want to sing it quieter, but stay in touch. Au pente des sources.
Au pente des
Okay, now play with that. Now keep it in tempo. Au pente des sources.
Au pente des sources.
Yes. So do you feel the difference in that? There was
it was
present.
more on the voice.
Yes. Now, another thing, I know we're running out, but be careful not to sing leaning over to one side. You tend to favor your left side, and that pulls your body and the muscles out of symmetry. I'm not saying that we have to stand that way all the time, but make that your default position. Erect. Leaning your head to one side, again, squeezes these muscles and stretches these, and they need to be balanced. And the same with your body. If you can do this and you're squeezing your right side and pulling here, your body wants to be balanced. And not stiff, but balanced. Can we go ahead to repose au fidèle? Okay, fabulous. I'm really fabulous up to this point. You went sharp.
Circular.
Yeah, circule. Just can you, I don't have a piano here. Circule, just near that, right there. Yes. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah, I just got a little too excited with it. Yeah.
I love being excited. I mean, that excitement is one of the things that's really attractive about your being on stage, and it excites your listeners. But don't get so excited that it doesn't help, right? You still have to think the pitches accurately, and so they will be produced accurately. But that circule was fabulous. It was in tune and it was anchored, right? So you're gonna have to work hard to keep from tilting to one side.
Yeah.
What I've done with some of my students who've tended to do all that is to put a book on their head so that the slightest little thing, there it goes, boom. Then I have to make sure that they don't get stiff trying to do this. But the sense of being aligned, especially in those moments where alignment is so necessary and so important to get the vocal effect your body can give you if it is in line and not out of line, right? So work in front of a mirror, put a little book on your head or something to get used to being there like a tree, but not stiff, stiff. All right? Yeah. So let's go ahead. La rouge fleur de baie, is that it?
La rouge fleur de blé s'inclina.
La rouge. La rouge fleur de blé. De blé. There's a de. I'm sorry.
La rouge fleur de blé.
De, okay. Right there. Right there.
La rouge fleur de blé s'inclina, et les oiseaux rasant de l'aile la colline cherchent l'ombre.
No. Yeah, you often share. The pitch was too high. Yeah, so with the piano this time. And be careful of the ending words, endings of these words. Lina, 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 bum, dum, bum. Don't over accent. French, they say, should be more evenly accented, but I've sung with French people, and they will tend to lean in on on those words that are really important. They will tend to give more to the stressed syllable, but never give it to the final syllable that's not stressed. Lina, Lina. All right.
Yeah.
La rouge fleur de blé, please. With the piano. Oh, so how are you doing that? I mean,
I have a person that's giving me notes. My
okay,
professor.
okay. So, okay, be careful you don't scoop. L'ombre des églantiers, no. L'ombre des églantiers.
L'ombre des églantiers.
On still églant. Keep the
Cherche l'ombre des églantiers.
That's better. Don't let it drop down your throat. Imagine as though you're keeping the vowel in your mouth. Des églantiers.
Cherche l'ombre des églantiers.
No. Églant.
Cherche l'ombre des églantiers.
Better. Sing gland for me, as though the A's in your mouth. Gland. No, not gland, straight ahead. Again. Églantier. More on the A than the gland. Églantier. Yes, that's correct. Not églantier. No. Églantier. Once more. Églantier. Oh, so the music doesn't, yeah, it goes ahead. Églantier. That's what's written. I see Ms. Bilko is calling us in. Look, first of all, very exciting talent. Be in touch with that place is going to firm up and keep you in tune, right?
Yeah.
And when you did this, when you started this piece this time, it was like, whoa, it was just so vital. It was right there. And that's what this piece is about, right? Bravo. Great to hear you. I look forward to hearing you again, really.
It's a pleasure working with you, Mr. Shirley.
My pleasure indeed. Wow, pleasure working with all of these young people. My gosh, what a talented group of young future stars. This is...
It's been such a wonderful day for all of us to spend it with you. It's just been so great. And gosh, I hope we can invite you back again. It's just been so wonderful. Thank you. And I know that you have a performance now that you're going to do.
Yeah, in about 15 minutes. Yeah, I gotta try to find a voice and this is but it's something that is special to me. It's in the church I grew up in that started so many of us musically. I took some of my first piano lessons from the second organist in the church who taught me songs, taught me some art songs, and it was just an incredible experience. I played in the community band that was formed here. I played euphonium. That was my that paid my scholarship when I started college at Wayne University in Detroit. So just a tremendous chance to. This is the 150th anniversary of the church, and a number of us who have gone on to have careers in classical music and in jazz, and we've all come back to participate in this concert tonight. And I'm going to sing a piece that I first heard sung in this church. The Lord is My Light by Allison. I don't know if it's something that you know, but it's a wonderful setting of that text. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's so, but this has been very exciting for me to hear the level of talent that I've been blessed to be able to hear today, and to look forward to hearing these young people perform and to follow their dreams. I hope that will be something that in this country will be a possibility in future, because the talent demands it. It needs to have its time in this place in the sun. And these young people I've heard today, my gosh, what a blessing. What a blessing.
Mr. Shirley, we have our common Detroit connection, but do you remember that we first met in Los Angeles?
Yes, I came out to do, I can't remember what I was doing, but you were singing
for the city, it was with Betty Cox.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was a concert that you put together. That's right. Yeah. But it's I'm at this point in my life. I mean, I retired from Michigan in 2007, but I've been blessed to be asked to come back and work with a small number of students every year since then. And I would miss it terribly if I didn't have that opportunity to share what I've learned from great musicians that I've worked with, great singers, because that's the reason, from my point of view, that's the reason I had a career, to be able, because I started off as a high school music teacher in Detroit, but Uncle Sam messed that up with the draft. But that was a blessing too, because it led me into 3 years as a member of the United States Army Chorus, a brand new unit formed in 1956 that I went into, and met some of the finest male singers in the country at that time who were going to be drafted, and they'd heard about the chorus, and so they auditioned and they were accepted. Wow. One of whom I'm on the verge of losing right now, a fellow named Jack Gillespie, who's a guy who talked me into considering becoming a professional singer. And I did so reluctantly initially, but it was meant to be. But he had a career in Germany. He came back and ran the opera program at Texas Tech, produced wonderful singers like Terry Cook, African-American bass, and Susan Graham, a great mezzo-soprano. And he's struggling right now. He's in hospice. And he's like a brother to me. And I was the only black face in the chorus in 1956. And Jack was one of the first members of the chorus who came up and welcomed me. And we've stayed in touch. We've seen each other over the years. But it comes that time when it's time to check out. And he's with his family, and I've called and spoken with him over the last, I couldn't yesterday because he was being cared for by the nurse, but he's at a point where and that wonderful voice that he was a lyric baritone. And he went to Germany and sang in Heidelberg for years as a tenor. And up till 2 months ago, he could still sing. He was okay, but he was suffering a prostate problem that metastasized, and interestingly enough, attached itself to the rear of his right eyeball. And when I last spoke, he recognized my voice. He could just very moan. I said, keep singing. Keep singing. So I trust that for all of you who have the talent, that the door is going to be open for you. In the times that we're going through now, because you've been given this talent. You don't know how you're going to use it at this point. I didn't know how I was going to use mine. I mean, opera was the last thing that I was looking at. I had my job as a high school music teacher at Miller High in Detroit. I was happy. My future wife and I were getting ready to get married. In August of 1956, and I received a letter from Uncle Sam in about May that said, greetings, you're going to be married to me in June. So the first disappointment, I share that with you because now and then it's a straight path to what you want to do, but more often than not, it ain't. And that's okay. Because if you're going to have the career, you're going to go through whatever is in your path, whatever you were given when you were conceived. You didn't ask for any of it. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't ask to be a singer. I didn't ask to be a teacher. I didn't ask to be born. But I was 9 months after my parents were married, the only child they ever had, and they'd wanted more. So I was put here because the intelligence that created life made it the choice for me to be here. I had nothing to do with it. And I've not had anything to do with the things that have happened in my life. People say, well, yeah, I did the work with the talent that I was given. I didn't grow it myself. If I hadn't been given the talent, if I hadn't been given the work ethic, then I wouldn't have developed the talent. But I was given everything that I needed. And I can only be grateful for what has happened and continues to happen in my life. I can't take credit for it. Taking credit for it is the biggest act of false ego I can imagine. I can only be grateful. Grateful that at my age, 87, I'm still able to sing with reflux. I'm grateful. So be grateful for what you've been given. Know that you are not making yourself. You are using what you discover and what other people who have been put into your life help you to discover that's already in you. The only thing that life in this world can put in you is a substance that can mess with what you were given when you were conceived. I can't give anyone a singing voice that's not already in them. I can't implant fear into anyone. I can do something that might awaken it if it's in them. And if fear is not in there, then I'm liable to get my block knocked off. So you already have everything you need to do what it is you're born to do. You don't know what you've been born to do yet. This is a part of it. And no time that you have spent and will spend to continue to develop yourself will be lost. Because if it's not on stage, you will find some other way of using what you learn in studying singing. It's growing pathways in your brain that will be applicable to whatever it is that you have been born to do. So don't waste any moment in absorbing as much as you possibly can from the people that are put into your life to help you to discover what was implanted within you when you were conceived. You were given a script. You were given an endowment. This is the unfolding, part of the unfolding of that endowment. So play your role. And even when it seems as though you run into a brick wall, there's going to be something else that comes along that says, go that way. I love football. Michigan just whipped Northwestern. And I love football because it is about oppositions. It's like life. If you're the running back and you get the ball and you go this way and you run into this 325-pound lineman that buries you along with about 2 or 3 others of his colleagues in the sand, you get up, I don't want to do this anymore. I've got dirt in my mouth. But you're not going to go that way again. You've already learned that's not the way I want to go. So the next time you go that way, until you eventually break through the line and find out what it is you are supposed to do. That's the way life works. So it's been a pleasure. I wish all of you every success. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from the downs. Can't win them all, but there will be those that you will find your way through the line and make your touchdowns. You're all fabulously talented. You've been blessed with wonderful voices. Take care of the little details. Don't take anything for granted. And when you practice by yourself, turn on your recorder so you can hear and make sure that you did what you thought you were doing when you were doing it. And sometimes you find out, I didn't do that. If you don't, those are your ears. Technology, this is one good thing that technology has done, is giving you the ability to hear what you are doing when you're working. So make full use of it. Respect the languages that you are going to sing in, including English. One of the most frustrating things for an English-speaking audience is for you to have this beautiful voice and so they couldn't understand a word he was saying. So respect the language. Work the language separate and apart from music until you can speak it. Che geli da manina, se la lasci riscaldare, cercar che giova, al buio non si trova. Get it to that point. And then when you take it to the music, it makes sense. It goes immediately to your solar plexus. This is what I'm saying. Listen to me. Okay, I see I'm being called to the stage. So, in bocca al lupo, which in Italian means in the mouth of the wolf, which is the way the Italians say of best of fortune to you. And I look forward to hearing you again on stage somewhere, but follow your dream. Wherever it takes you, follow your dream. Ciao for now.
Thank you
Bravo.
so much.
Bravo. Thank you so much for such a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Toy.
Break the leg today.